Hey, this is Bird Speak of the Bird Speak podcast, and there's some things that had popped up that made me come up with this topic today. Now, last night on the Ebony Star Network, we had a real long discussion on hip hop and its effect on the treatment of women and whether women should be allowing themselves to be called bitches. And it was a very good discussion. But during the middle of that discussion, Bomb Cherry had asked a question. Why did people got married? You know, we gave our responses and so, you know, it was just a question of that. But then today I read a story. You know, it was a fictional story, but it was a story about this particular woman who had got married and thought that was what she's supposed to do. And doing the story, her husband on their careers, they would both had their careers and doing well until one day his father had died. And so, fearing that he was going to die alone, he wanted to have a child. And she didn't want to. And so, there was a big discussion about her having children, you know, everybody around her wanting her to have a child for him, but that's not what she wanted. So it got me to thinking about this, since it's just like Karma is just coming around saying, you know, think about this. Now, there's a lot of talk in these spaces about marriage and having children and being in a relationship with a woman. I know there's certain people on the one side of the argument that men should be married, have children, so they don't die alone. There's studies that saying that men do better in marriage than women, and you know they seem to thrive better. And, you know, maybe there's some truth to that. But the question you as a black man got to ask yourself, do you want to be married? Do you want to have children? And if you was married or is married, why did you want to get married? Was it something that you wanted to do? Or was it something that you felt you had to do? Was it something that your parents put in your mind that you had to get married? Was it something that your friends pushed on you? Or was it something society pushed on you? And the same with children. Did you want to have children? Or was it your family pushed that on you? Was it society? Was your friends? And these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, because there's a lot of times where these marriages end and people are having all this strife, and usually it's because somebody is not really happy with the decision that they made. Now, why are you saying this, Brother Speak? Well, because I want to talk to the men for a bit. Do you want to get married? Do you want to have children? Because that's the question you have to ask yourself. And it's not something that can be answered in a day. It's not something that can be answered in a week. It may take you years to even decide. But you do have to decide that. Because ultimately you are going to be responsible for whatever happens. Whether this marriage succeeds or fails, ultimately, people are going to blame you. Society blames you. You know, some people in the community will blame you. If you have children or not. If the children turn good or bad, or maybe you're having a dispute with custody, most people are going to blame you. Society's going to blame you. So you have to decide, black man, do you want to be married? Do you want to have children? Because if you do or not, especially if you do get married, especially if you do have children, and when there's issues in that marriage with the children, nobody's going to come help you. I know that sounds messed up and people will deny it as much as they can, but really, nobody's going to help you. If that marriage fails, they're going to blame you. They're not going to blame her. They're going to blame you. You know, society's going to blame you. You know, the court system's going to blame you. It's going to be all on you. And the children. Let's say she does keep the children from you. They're going to blame you. If you can't see your children because there's a court order, because the woman is keeping child from you, whether you have done anything or not, they're going to blame you. They're going to say you're a deadbeat. You're a derelict. You abandoned the children. They're going to say that. Even when it's not true, they're going to say that about you. If you decide not to have children, they're going to think something wrong with you. Maybe you're gay. You don't want to have a relationship with a woman like that. They're going to say you're gay. That's what people are going to think. See, they're not going to live your life. They're not going to help you if you make a mistake. They're not going to help you with the resentment that you might feel if you feel trapped in this type of relationship. Because you decide later that you really didn't want to, but you did it anyway. Now you feel resentment. Now it feels like an obligation. And nobody's going to help you with that feeling. Nobody even will want to hear it. Because they just not going to. They're going to tell you to suck it up and deal with it. You're the leader. You're the leader of the community. Everything falls on you. You're supposed to be the rock. You're not allowed to feel. You're not allowed to feel any type of thing. Because you're the one that has to show strength. So, you're gonna have to understand, black man, that is a blessing in disguise, because it allows you to decide what type of life you want to live. Nobody has the right to tell you how to live. And I don't care what they think of you. They can think you whatever they want. But at the end of the day, it is your life. And you're going to have to suffer the consequences of it. So if you decide to get married, it's good. If you decide not to get married, you decide to have children, you decide not to have children, you decide to be in a relationship with a woman, monogamous relationship, or you can be in whatever polygamous relationship you want. It is up to you. And yes, people are going to talk. There's going to be men saying, you're a heathen, you ain't a man because you're not in a traditional relationship. They're going to say you're not a man because you got all these multiple women. They're going to say you're not a man because you have children. They're going to say you're not a man because you're struggling to get custody of your children. You're not. They're going to say you're not a man because you're trying to fight the law or change the amount of child support. They're going to say you're not a man for all these things. And at the end of the day, they're not going to help you with it. They're not going to help you with anything. It's going to be you. So make that decision on your own. Take the time you need to decide. Don't let your friends, your family, not even the woman you love, make that decision for you. You are a leader. And as a leader, you have to make a decision that's going to be the benefit to not just everyone around you, but to yourself. And that decision may be you don't want to get married. That decision may be you don't want children. That decision may be you might have to leave that wife. That decision may be you want full custody or no custody. Ultimately, that decision is yours, and that is yours to make. And nobody can dictate that for you. Because whether it succeeds or fails, everybody's going to be looking at you. So use that as that opportunity to make decisions for your life and tell anybody to kick rocks if they don't like it. Because sure like to live. And if they try to say, well, you might die alone. Hey, I'll die alone. Because as a man, you expect to shoulder the burdens alone. You expect it to give your life alone. What's any different than dying alone? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be alone anyway. They're not going to share the burden with you. They're not going to help you with the children. They're not going to help you get your children. Nobody's going to help you with anything. Because they say you're the leader. Nobody's going to be sympathetic to you because you're the leader. So take that time. Use that to your advantage. You are the leader of your life. And you decide how you want to spend it. And that's it for me. This is Brother Speak. I'm out.